Nawalli Tonalli. This is the Toltek vision, our reality. And this is going to express most of the cosmology of our ancient wisdom in the Toltec tradition. So this is very important to understand because it's going to help to humanity to understand how to interact with energy and how to move in this video game called Matrix wisely. And for that, it's very important to know where really we are step on, or we are living in, and how everything works around us. We forgot the instructions of how to play this video game. And now we're just passengers and walkers, walking deads in this game called life. But the reality is that we are the controllers. Most of the humanity now are just non-character players. They have no soul anymore. They are zombies, soulless beings. So the rest of us with soul and spirit, we have to be aware. That's why we have to remember. Remember means go back to your heart. Remember comes from Latin, in recordar in Spanish is re, do it again, go back. Cordis, corazón, core, heart. How to play this game. Now is the time to act and perform, display, updated, and now taking the control of your life. Take control of the dream that we are living in. We have to stop to be just dreamers, following the collective hive mind, consciousness. So this is very important to know this information, and immediately when at the moment that now we unveil this, we have to apply this in our lives because this is practical. It's not just rhetorical. You have to practice and experience by yourself. Change your life. And apply movement in your life and the force of will. So we're going to start to explaining this Tonalli concept. Well, first of all, this image used to be the symbol that represents the Anahuac Confederation. That now we know this confederation as North America. From Alaska to Costa Rica and the Caribbean, this used to be the Anahuac Confederation. And this is like the flag of our confederation. And it's a very, very, very important symbol, an archetype that our ancestors created for us, for all humanity also. It's explaining a lot of things that's happening here. And it is explaining our reality. Remember that everything is ruled by symbols, signs. The language of soul are symbols, not words. So this is very important to know it. So this symbol is representing the energy, centeot, one energy, expressed in fractals in many shapes and forms. And is depicted like a butterfly. This is the symbol, the name of this symbol is Nawi Papalot in Nahuatl, and that means for butterfly, because we have the four movement Nawi Olin, the foundations of everything, expressing the fifth element on the center, equilibrium balance. And butterfly is the symbol of metamorphosis, transformation, metamorphosis. And that's is the task, the mission that we came here to achieve, self-transformation in a better version of you every day. And this symbol is representing all of that and more, of course. And now it's expressing two things like Ometeo. There is no duality, it's polarity. Like Semanahuac, the concept of Semanahuac explains that this is the universe, that when we harmonize the two polarities of the energy in this reality, two that create a third one in order to evolve, to grow in the verticality of life, ascending, rise. That's why we have these two colors. The red one represents Tonalli, and the black one represents Nawalli. And now we want to start to explain both. First of all, we have Tonalli. Tonalli basically is the matrix that we are living in. Tonalli means light in Nahuatl, and also is referring the sun, but not just that light. And this light is, this Tonalli matrix is the hologram, this holographic realm or reality that we are living, this video game that we think that is solid, that is real, but no, it's just a dream, just a game that we decide to participate, or maybe not. But whatever it is, we are just here. So we have to play. And if you know the instructions, if you play and you know how to play it, it's gonna be better. Otherwise, you're gonna be used. Now, the purpose of this is, remember that you have to use the matrix for your own benefit, your own growing, and not matrix is play with you. So we have to change the roles. Now we are playing the role of zombies, walking deads, most of the humans now, because they are non-character players. They are soulless beings. So this is the, Tonalli is part of the Nawalli. It's just a very low percentage of the Nawalli energy. It's a fractal of the Nawalli. And then we can see that we are living in this projection, holographic overlay in duality. That's what Tonalli is, this holographic overlay. That is like a go to the movie. When the lights go out, then this projector is going to project the images. And then your mind think there is the thing that you are watching is real. Doesn't matter that you know that it's not real, for your mind is real. And it's very easy to prove it because all the movies that you are watching is going to provoke something in you, some kind of emotion. Maybe you can get angry. Maybe you can get sad, excited. That's the proof that that your mind is real. So that's the trap here, that we are believing that this holographic overlay projection is the real thing because we have mind. And this mind is not ours. It's an implant. These predators came to our reality and kidnapped our planet. And these predators, all the traditions mention them. In our tradition, we call it tzitsimimes in the Toltek tradition. In the Gnosis tradition, they call it archons. And if you read the Carlos Castaneda's books, Don Juan Matus said, they call them the flyers. And he said, the predator gave us its mind to make us play its game. So that is the purpose of this. Play this game, but we forgot the instructions. That's the problem. And now we have to remember these instructions and change this game in our own favor. So Tonalli is the one, I think is less, but okay, we're gonna give more than that just for the benefit of the doubt. But okay, we're gonna manage this amount of, so this is the 1% of the reality, the Tonalli. And the light is illusion. The word illusion comes from light. So we're living in an illusion. And this is the light. It's a fragmentation of the original. It's electricity. So we used to be infinite, and now we're limited. From the original, now manipulated. And now this is the projection. So this is just the very low percentage that our eyes can decodify, because we don't see, we decodify frequencies. And this is just the range of frequencies that we can decodify, from red to blue. That's why we can find, this is the two colors of the electricity, the two poles of electricity, positive, negative, the dualism. And that's why we have, because we're living in this electric realm, the false light, illusion, matrix, dream. And that's why these two colors, we can find them in all the in most of the flags of the countries, red and blue, because they are telling that we are living in this illusion. And also, you know, with the police sirens, the lights, red, blue, red shift, blue shift. And that's the duality that we are living in. And that's the Tonalli, light, illusion. What is light? Light is just data, like a CD. We're living like this, like DVD or CD that is playing and has been reading with the light, with this electromagnetic spectrum, just light. Light is carrying just data, information. It's just information. Light is information. That's why we have now the new technology that is going to call light Fi. Instead of Wi-Fi is Light-Fi, because now the new Wi-Fi is going to be with light. You can take your bulb, and a special bulb, I think so, like a router, and you can put it whatever in. When you turn on this bulb, you can emit data. So this is not a theory. This is proven. The light is just information, data. And we are living this in this, like a CD on this disk, and we are being reading like this with colors. Human means hue, man. Hue is color. Man comes from mentis, mind. So mind in colors basically is one of these definitions of human, because now we become in minds, and in this trap of chakras that is just colors, to be read, because they want to read us. They need to, these hijackers, these tsitsimimes, these beings, multidimensional beings, want to read our energy because they can see us. So they needed to put this vortex of extraction energy and that's why we have this system of chakras. And chakras means vortex, and they are extracting our energy. And with this light is to be read. And that's why, because we are living in this holographic realm, in this illusion, and also we are carrying information, data all the time. Now we can see also in our language all the codes. And then we have chromosomes, because X is distance. These chromosomes comes from the word chromo, that is chronos, the titan of time in Greece. And also chrono means color. And soma means body. Soma in Greek, body. So we are practically bodies with colors like this. So our chromosomes also are being used like antennas. This is like an antenna. DNA is an antenna because we need the existence, and we come from this extension connected to this illusion. And also this realm is ruled by Satan, and Satan is Satan because, you know, X in Roman numbers is 10, and 10 is just like a binary code, duality, positive, negative, blue shift, red shift. And then 10, if you sum 1 plus 0, we have one. And one here is one, uno, anu, genus, anu, Anunnaki. So we can find that this God that from the false religions is controlling this realm, and this is the name of this entity. But it's not the source. Don't confuse with the source. We're talking about a demiurge, a demigod, some kind of entity that took over of this planet, and he proclaimed, or it proclaimed itself like the supreme God. But it's not just, it's just a parasite that create this extraction metric system of energy, this tonality. And also the moon is part of this extraction energy matrix. The moon, that's why we have this another word called monster. Monster comes from monster. Another word is menstrual, comes from menstrual. Mens is equal mind. And we have another word called ceremony. Ceremony, so be a moon. To give us, feed us. Everything is related because we have to feed these entities with our energy. Like a Matrix movie said, we are batteries. We are Batmans, bad batteries, minds that are used like batteries. And the moon is in charge to project this matrix overlay, this illusion, this light, this tonality. The moon is the trap. And also we can see that in another movies like Truman Show, Star Wars, and another ones, but they are hiding the truth in plain sight. So this is very important to release. That's why we live in Mexico. Mexico in Nahuatl, that is Mexico. One of the translation is we're living into the belly button of the moon. That's Mexico, one of the translation of Mexico means, because we are living in the dream of the moon, because we are now lunatics, because these lights control with electromagnetic non-fractal light, and also is called control the parasites. That's why we become in beasts, werewolves. That's the myth of the werewolves. Humans that become in beasts because the parasites is taking control of our body to co-create this reality with our mental body. That is an antenna, the nervous system, and the brain is the antenna. And they are programming us to reflect the reality that the system wants to co-create outside with the power of our intention, our feelings, and our electricity and magnetism. So that's the tonalities. That's why our ancestors knew very well how to interact with this and where we are, where we really are. So that's why it's called Mexico, because they knew that we are in this. And also this is the map of our Earth, our planet. This is a projection of plasma of our true map, like a picture. And if you want to know more, go to my video, in the other video that I just did, called Nahuatl in Nawalli, the language, explaining this concept. So in this matrix, in this tonality, everything is referring to light. That's why this huge and great worship to the light. All the time the New Age is telling us, oh yeah, the masters of light and be light and the light is everything and blah, blah, blah. But it's not true. The essence is the darkness that I'm going to explain later with the Nawalli concept. But the light is illusion. And also that's the antenna. We are electric creatures. But our real nature is not like this. This is another intervention of our bodies. This is the parasite, electricity. Parasite needs electricity and also control the mind, the mental body with these frequencies in the hive mind, collective hive mind consciousness, because we are batteries. They take in our energy from us, like this, in this Tonalli matrix hologram. That's another image of this larvatic body, this parasite, full of electricity. And now we see the parasite here, very clear. And the serpent represents another kind of wave, the lowest frequency. Because we fail in this, we participate in this signal wave of duality. And also in the physical reality, we are living into the electric cities, electricity. It's an anagram also. And then you can see, this is microchips, motherboards of computers, of whatever, of electronic devices. And then the comparison with the modern cities. It's the same, because we are in the extraction matrix energy system. They are harvesting our energy all the time. And because we are ignorant, and we are living like zombies, like walking deads. But now it's over, because now we are waking up and we are changing that. That's why they also program us to wear shoes, because they want to unplug us from the source of the earth, the magnetism. And also electricity, this is full of ions, is ionized the entire planet. We have a lot of voltages. When we are going higher, the voltage increase. And we get very high, we can find millions of voltages. But when we are grounding or earthing with barefoot, all this electricity gone, vanished. We are breaking with these negative ions for our health. And that's another part to realize, that we have to come back to the principles of nature. And that's what a Toltek is, a naturist human that is following the principles of nature. And this is another allegory for this butterfly, because this butterfly, at the beginning of its life, is a caterpillar, like I am showing you. And this caterpillar is representing also this sign, this wave. because we were born into sin. There is an anagram of sign. This is the sin. Participate in this kind of wave. Positive, negative, dualism. The dual. Positive, negative, day, night, good, evil, red, blue, shift, all the time, playing with our minds. And this is the presentation of this because our ancestors, they were the great observers of nature. And because we used to know that we are just reflections, as within, so without. We're fractals. And they have created beautiful allegories from nature. And they say, okay, the life begins like this, like a caterpillar, like a worm. And this caterpillar, at the beginning of its life, is very limited because it's dragging on the earth with a very limited vision. This animal just can see the things that are under everything. And also it's kind of heavy. And maybe we can see it's also ugly in some point, no? But this animal said, okay, I'm not really this. I'm going to provoke my own metamorphosis, my own transformation. And then this caterpillar start its own work, its own flourished war to become in a better version of itself until turning into butterfly. That's why we have the symbol, because they are talking about this. It's beautiful, this allegory. So basically that's the tonality, the light, the illusion, the things that we don't have to participate and know that we are living in this holographic illusion. But now we have to know the other thing. There is Nawalli. In Nawalli is the totality. And remember, then the Tonalli belongs to Nawalli. It's a fractal, because Nawalli is not dual. This is unity. This is the source, the totality of everything. This is the other 99% that we can perceive, because our fitting point is just very, very fit. It's very stuck in this 3D reality. And also our 5 senses are very limited, and the others are blocked, like telepathy, biolocation, and teletransport, whatever, and others ones. But now we have to realize that we have this Nawalli essence inside of everything, and us, of course. So we can say that the ether is part of this Nawalli. Ether is the part of these 5 planes of existence. We have the physical, astral, ether, etherical, universal, and cosmic. But the ether is the foundations of this reality. It's the darkness, but it's not the darkness that we used to perceive, because in the ether we have kind of light, but it's also a different light. It's our inner glow, because in darkness we need darkness to create light. And we can see when we are in our mother's womb, in the uterus is dark. And also a seed needs the darkness and the silence inside of the earth to grow. So that's why it's this tricky message that they have told us to be afraid of dark, because they know that dark is the foundations, the mother. But instead, they said, oh, light is everything. And they are programming us to worship light, the illusion. And also, if you see the light directly, like the sun, if you watch the sun directly, it's going to blind you. And that's what's happening with light. It's a deceive, an illusion. So the ether is the totality. Nawalli is everything. The source. And now we can see that we are fractals of the source. From micro to macro. And this source is made of resonance, made of sound, like the ripple effect show us. Everything is, this kind of wave is not like the other one. This is a spiritual. This is not material. This is made of resonance, another frequency that is inside us too, resonating in our hearts. And this kind of wave is resonating and is radiant. It's growing, expanding, never dies. And that's why the Nawalli is the essence of everything. And we have this essence in our bodies also here in our hearts. That's the key of everything. And also we have this energy in our physical body, in the melanin. The melanin is another anagram of melody, because we're talking about frequency, sounds, resonance. So the real name should be melody. And melanin, this is the substance that we have inside of our body. There are a stock of, to the cells like this, and it's providing energy, the resonance, the right frequency all the time to keep our cells alive. Without no food, we don't need food, brothers and sisters. Because like in the Toltek tradition said, I am my own word, I am my own medicine. We don't need anything outside, from outside. We can provide our own energy because we are batteries that we can recharge ourselves. But the problem, we are obstructing this energy with our negative habits, especially our diet, because these parasites are controlling everything. But this melody is producing a sound. And this is like a battery that is rechargeable all the time, because we have the concept of this toroidal energy that generates, operates, and dissolves. Generation, operation, dissolution all the time, like a loop. And for that, we need water, the right temperature, clean water that flows to transmit energy and magnetism and the resonance, and then the right temperature to provoke hydrogen of the highest level. The hydrogen is our fuel. The real fuel of the body is hydrogen, the pH, hydrogen potential. And to keep these cells or maintain our cells in balance, We need to be neutral with our pH neutral. pH neutral. No acidic and no alkaline, neutral. And that's the secret to everything. Remain neutral. Center, balance, fluency. That's the formula of Toltek. And also because we are living in this Ethernet. Actually, this is the real name of internet. If you check your modem and you see behind this modem, you can read Ethernet, no internet. But for sure they changed the word because they don't want to notice this, no. But the problem is that we are believing in a lot of deceives because we have been programmed with our mental body to believe that we need to eat, we need to sleep, we need to work, we need to fuck, blah, 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 all programming. But when you're living in the neutral way, you are in your center, you're balanced, neutral, living in this Nawalli energy, then you realize that you don't need nothing outside of you, because this melody is producing the most beautiful sound, the most beautiful harmony, the symphony inside of us, creating positive waves in resonance. Also, Nawalli means quantic double, because Nawi in Nahuatl language is 4. And why 4? Because it's the first number that is going to be unfolded, When you multiply 2 per 2, you obtain 4. So it's the first number that is going to double. Very simple, because we are multidimensional beings. So our Nawalli is our another body that we have. Actually, the first one is when we are going to sleep, the character that we are experiencing the dream is your Nawalli. Is yourself in another dimension. And that's the only, for now, is the only body that we can perceive, or we are aware of that body. But we have more, because this is a multidimensional plane. But I told you, the problem is your fitting point is not adjust in the others. You can move this, or you don't know how to move this fitting point. But when as soon as you learn how to move it, you can perceive the other realms, the other dimensions with your multiple bodies, connecting your Nawal, because we are the part and the whole, and vice versa. We are fractals. So this is the concept of Nawalli. And also this Nawalli, it could be a comparison with the ocean. If you extract one droplet of the ocean, it's not the ocean, but every droplet has all the minerals of the ocean, contains everything that you can find in the ocean. And when you put together all these droplets, it's going to form the ocean. And that's the concept of fractals. So everything that you can perceive here, we are droplets of the same ocean. We are part of the Nawalli, expressed in this Tonalli frequency. But remember, this is just an illusion. And that's why the warriors of this flourished world have to achieve the cell transformation, metamorphosis, like this butterfly. So that's why these warriors, Toltec warriors, have in their chest this butterfly, because it's representing the flourished dead also, because we came here to die for living. And why we are saying that? Because we have to kill this walking dead, this parasite, this zombie. And when you are not aware of all of this information and how to use your or manipulate your energy to achieve this, you're gonna die like most of the humans do. So they are just living in a biological, no sense life, working and sleeping and eating all the time, repeating the same routine until they die. They are finished to die. It's very different to live. So now every human, most of the humans are dying because they are committing suicide. Slow suicide, because in the way that we are living, it's like a suicide, because we are eating junk food, we are eating dead animals, drinking toxic liquids like alcohol, caffeine, Coca-Cola, whatever, and also wasting our sexual energy, fucking all the time, fornicating. So that's the animal. If you're living like that, you're living like a caterpillar, making the comparison with this animal. But then you have to pass these 4 stages. Now we only to achieve the flourished death and death for living. Then you kill that irrational animal to become in this animal that is conscious, is aware of everything. And now this being has learned to manipulate the energy in a positive way to co-create this reality for a benefit of the community. And also you can create your own line of reality. We are co-creators. We are not just passengers. If you live outside, you're just a walker and also a passenger. But if you live from inside, you are the path, you are the driver. So that's why we have to achieve this self-transformation. And then living from our hearts. Also, heart is like a coil. Basically, it's the coil of our body. And now you can see this is a coil. And you need a coil to produce energy in every electrical device. The computers, TVs, whatever you want to use for electrical device, you need this coil. And as you can tell, our heart is like a coil. It's the coil of our heart that keeps you in this loop of generation, operation, dissolution perpetually. And using this for your favor, you can live here forever, all the time that you need to ascend. You can live here all the time that you need with no aging. You're not going to get old if you become in this more evolved being. But for that, you have to stop to eat, stop to fornicate, a lot of things that we are doing wrong because we are oxidating our body. This is proven. If you read a lot of ancient texts, you can find characters that could live 900 years, 1,000 years. Actually, the natural death doesn't exist. You can see in nature, a tree could live millenniums. Of course, if you have an accident, you can die. Like I don't know, in a car accident, if you fall from at a higher point or somebody kill you, I don't know, an accident could happen. But natural death is not, it's a belief, it's not truth. Because of this is a perpetual loop that you can use it for your own benefit with your coil here. And this is another representation of this butterfly that the Mayans create, and they call it sulking. And this is the blueprints of this matrix, this Tonalli, because they knew that everything is a loop, is cycles. Everything is repeating all the time in cycles. And they registered these cycles in this matrix they call sulking. And then you can see this is a butterfly, and also is the Nawalli, the form movement. There is moving its wings all the time in this toroidal wave, like this, in spirals. That's why we have the spiral here, because the energy moves in a spiral. And this is two ways to manipulate this energy. In the vortex, that is going to absorb the energy, extraction matrix energy, that is the negative. Or you can see that you can use it like a scalar energy. That is the one that is going to increase energy and create more and move energy properly and very in the positive way. So that's why we have another representation of this butterfly here. We can see very clearly. And this is a representation of the toral and the ripple effect, the torus field. And this is why we have to achieve this transformation, because now we are living like this. But the purpose and the mission is becoming into this. So the first step is the egg, is the worm, the caterpillar, is the seed of your dream, the idea of your life. So it's start to go inside of you. Go to the passive mode. Meditate what you want, your goals from your heart. And the first step is be aware of all of this information. You have to get out of the ignorance. That's the first step. The second is going to be the larva. And also the larva is the step that now you have to put in actions. You have to act, move to create the changes in your life. Practice everything and use the force of will to change the things that you have to get rid of and everything that you have to leave behind to becoming a better version of yourself. And then we have the cocoon. The cocoon is going to show you that you have a superior purpose here. Is where the transformation has place. So it's the same way that the self-transformation occurs in your inner cocoon. And it's going to tell you that soon it's going to emerge from this to becoming this beautiful butterfly. So when you see this energy, it's better than you ask this question to yourself. Why are you have started this change? What is the purpose? So you have to have clear your mission. And finally, you're going to become in the butterfly. Is the result of your work, your labor. And it's going to tell you that the energy of the great spirit, the great connection, the source is with you. And then you can fly. And this is the final stage. Now you transform yourself with your own work, because this is something that you earn by yourself. Nobody's going to give you nothing like or help you to becoming this. You have to do it by yourself, earning by yourself. And before, we were like worms with limited, very limited sight of the terrain, heavy, living, dragging. And then at the end, now becoming this butterfly, that now this animal is lighter, is more beautiful, and it can fly to see with another perspective the life from above, with the total domain of the terrain, and freely to go wherever it wants, and faster than this animal. That's why the purpose of life, becoming a better version of yourself. That's why our ancestors chose this symbol to represent that. And also, we need freedom. And freedom means free outside of the dome, of the matrix, of this prison of your mind. That's why the compass is going to mark the exit, the center, the magnetic pole. And compass says, come and pass. Come pass to set you free from this illusion, from this aura. That's why the alchemist wanted to transform lead to gold. And this is another metaphor of this. This is transform lead to gold. It's another allegory. And this is how we have to finish this game once and for all. And also the inner change is going to change the outer game. And very easy, you don't have to do nothing, because just by resonance, we're gonna transmit the right frequencies outside, and it's gonna be contagious, catchy. The time that you start to resonate in another frequency, people is going to start to tell it. It's going to say, oh, what are you doing? What did you do? Help me. And just with the force of your example and your coherence state, you're going to reflect in the other mirrors this coherent state, this peace, this inner peace. And this is the best way to educate children, and of course to teach others with your actions, with your example. Be an example. And that's it, very easy. You don't have to complicate. And remember, that's the other point. Integrate both energies, masculine and feminine, turning into one, the unity, to resonate in love, in the highest energy, the highest frequency of all, in the amor. Amor means no death, ascend. And that's the concept of Nawalli Tonalli, self-transformation. Ometeotl.